met through our roles within the NHS. We worked together for many years as part of a small cared for children's team.
It felt really important to have left the NHS to set up something independently, to set up something that we know when any profits go straight back into the service, making it better.
And think about how we can then give back to, particularly to the most vulnerable children within the Rochdale and Greater Manchester area.
So this is just one of our workshops that's managing anxiety in young children. It's really important for us to provide the support for parents as well as the children. For us it's a bit like you can't help a flower without helping its environment, and that's the kind of metaphor we use a lot when we're talking to parents about why we need to support them as well as the children, even though it's a children's mental health service.
The main thing I've took from it is helping Jack to solve problems rather than telling him just not to worry about problems. So that's been really helpful to sort of solve it instead of just push it to one side and go everything's going to be okay. That's helped his anxiety because he has a lot of anxiety at school. He feels very anxious about doing his schoolwork. I was very scared of getting in lifts, and I've managed to conquer that and get into them and start using them again just to manage your own anxiety and solve my own problem basically.
So I first came probably about 6 months ago, and I met with Louise and Maggie, and it felt a really positive experience because it was the opportunity for me to be able to share the difficulties that we were experiencing as a family. So even from the initial appointment, I felt like we left with some guidance as to how to sort of view Adam's needs, how his brain was working, so that we didn't expect something that was unrealistic.
So our service has a particular focus on the role of developmental trauma and the impact of that on children, families and all the people that are there supporting them. We want the social impact to focus on increasing understanding in this area across families, organisations and communities, so that we can ultimately support changing the lives of the most vulnerable people that we work with.
And we like to pride ourselves on how we make this complex neuroscience and the impact of developmental trauma on the attachments of young people and be as accessible as it can during training sessions, during consultation with parents and one-to-one sessions with young people as well.
I think the biggest thing is that it's about connection. It's about helping children and young people to build trust, to build a relationship ultimately, because it can be easier sometimes building a relationship with an animal than with an adult, with a human, especially if there's been a lot of difficulty, a lot of trauma, if children have been let down, if they've been rejected, if they've been hurt. So he's a safe way to start building a connection with another being. So that's one of the big things that we do with children and young people.
Method Levels therapy is based on a psychological theory of well-being. We've been using this in a one-to-one setting. The absolute beauty of this therapy type is that we can use it as a one-off drop-in. If we're wanting to look at a number of sessions to go through things that are happening for a person, we can, so it can be very much client-led.
As well as working with children, we work with teachers. So we run training across different presentations, different ideas, with teaching staff. That can be with a whole staff team. So everybody who is a member of staff within a school, including the people on reception, the caretakers, to really embed some of our ideas within the school.
We can see that a student maybe requires some help or needs some support, and because we know that nurture are coming in, we know that we're able to access that quicker. In terms of the families, it gives them huge reassurances.
We'd really encourage people to get in touch with us. We offer free phone consultation as a first point of contact. And yeah, it just takes picking up the phone really, or sending an email, and we can get back to you, or one of our team can.